So let's look at a few more example problems where we need to identify and classify these quadrilaterals, which remember are just four-sided closed shapes. So which of the following shapes are rhombuses? And a rhombus, remember, has four equal side lengths. And we're not really concerned whether the opposite sides are parallel or if we have right angles. But in all of these, we just need four equal side lengths. So with A, notice all of the sides are equal. So this is a rhombus. And in B, all of the sides are equal. So this is also a rhombus. Now, since this also has all right angles, this is technically a square as well. But all squares are also rhombuses. So that's okay. Now C, notice it has four sides, but it isn't closed. So these aren't connected, which means that C is not a quadrilateral. It does not have four sides that are all connected. So not C. And D, well, it is a quadrilateral, but they're not all equal sides. So it's not going to be a rhombus. It's not going to be a rectangle because all the angles are not right angles. It does look like these are right angles, though. It's hard to tell with the picture. We're not explicitly told that, and you want to be careful with just making assumptions that you aren't told about. But this does look like, since these are two right angles, that these would be parallel. It might not be the case, but that's what it looks like. And one set of parallel sides, remember, that would make this a trapezoid. But again, since we weren't explicitly told that, you wouldn't want to necessarily make that assumption, since often pictures can be drawn incorrectly. So this might be a trapezoid if these are in fact right angles, which would make these two parallel to each other. So let's look at another example. And in this one, we need to know which of the shapes are rectangles. And the definition of a rectangle is that it's a quadrilateral with four right angles. So all of the angles need to be 90 degrees. And the side lengths don't really matter. They could be really anything as long as the opposite sides are going to be equal. And that comes from the fact that all of the angles are right angles. So this one, you can see that it doesn't have all right angles. These are both obtuse angles. They're bigger than 90 degrees. And these are both acute angles. They're going to be smaller than 90. So that is not a rectangle. It is a rhombus, though, since all the sides are equal. This shape right here is not a rectangle either, since this is obtuse. This one is acute. So we don't have four right angles. It does, however, look like a parallelogram, though we're not explicitly told that. If we were given these arrows and told that it has two sets of parallel lines where the opposite sides are parallel, then we could conclude this is a parallelogram. But since we weren't told that, we don't want to make that assumption. Now for choice C, it does have four right angles. So this is, in fact, a rectangle. And choice D also has four right angles. So it's a rectangle. Though notice that all the side lengths are equal. So this is also a rhombus, and since it has these four right angles, it's also a square. So this just happens to be a square, a rhombus, a rectangle, and it's a parallelogram. So squares are just very special types of quadrilaterals since they also fit many other definitions. And let's do one last problem. And for this one, we just need to find if the shapes are quadrilaterals. So remember, these are four-sided shapes, but they have to be closed. So they can't have any open side lengths here. So you can see that C, even though it has four sides, it's not completely closed. All the sides are not connected, so this is not a quadrilateral. Now, if we just count the sides for A, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they are all connected, this is a quadrilateral. Likewise, choice B, it has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and they're closed. So that's a quadrilateral. And choice D, if you count these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is what we call a pentagon. In fact, it's a regular pentagon because all the side lengths are equal. But pentagons have 5 different side lengths. So choice D would not be correct, and just A and B would be the answers here.